Uh,
Well, theater troupe changed
Did it?
a little bit.
what changed?
The theater troupe.
Oh.
What's the
It's
play
a little
now?
bit. There's these big gargoyles now.
Live alerts! Look at that, I'm live. Oh, it works. Okay, guys, if you guys have
I don't.
any streams or in Twitch streams, YouTube's channels, Kick channel, whatever
I do.
else, X channels, whatever, you can have me add them for you so that folks can subscribe and stuff and do all that cool, crazy new kid stuff. So if you'd have that, let me know.
Unfortunately, I'm not a crazy cool new kid, so I do not have that stuff.
If we do have that stuff, where do we send said stuff?
You send me a DM with the URLs.
Yeah, I like to play my Barbie games in private.
No, everyone loves Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I let the people watch. Let them watch.
You should
Let 'em
be able
watch.
to enter this channel, CB. I don't know why. All right. Let me go live. Send your spice. Oh yeah. Okay. I got you, buddy.
Yeah, I'll be streaming the Mythics and Raid tonight.
Sweet. That's what I'm squawking. All right. Let me screens. Screen number 2 or screen number 4? Tab 2. Okay. All right. We should be live as well. Guys, I'm going to be talking about the spreadsheet, so if you don't have access to the spreadsheet, you need to request access because I had to lock it down. Our last stream somebody copied the URL like string by string. It was crazy, so I had to lock it down.
People are crazy like that.
They started doing naughty things.
Exactly.
All right. Join my live stream if you don't have access yet, but do request it. All right. We want to also have all of your alts in here. There's a couple of you that are missing. Oprah's alts are missing. So you have two. I think he has 2 more to add in here, but he might even have a third at this point. I'll have to figure that out. But Astro also has quite a few alts, and my co-GM finally put his information in. That was, a nice pat in the back for Jason there. He's only been in here since 2005. He should know better. But yeah, try to put your alts in here because I am going to be restructuring our ranks and kicking people I don't recognize. So if you have your alts, you got to put your alts in here. Now, I know Salve has like a gazillion alts, and I know it's, terrible to add that many alts, but because we're altaholics over here. But, I need to, or at the very least, in game, if you can put a note, into the roster itself and say, claim your alts that way, that'd be great. Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So, and then let me. Anyway. All right. So put that in there. We need to know like some information in here, and make sure you guys are keeping your eye levels because now that's going to be changing quite often. But try to keep your eye levels updated, as much as you can. I think I've put pretty much all of Hakusan's. All of Hakusan's his gazillion freaking alts in here. I also have Justin's like gazillion freaking alts in here as well. So everybody loves to have that. So okay, all right. If you have any vacations coming up, put them in here, please, so that we know. that you are on vacation. And then if you are looking to get into a team for Mythic Plus, use this sheet and make sure that you sign up here if you are interested in Mythic Plus. I also need availability from some folks as well, just because I'm a sucker for trying to get, folks that are in close proximity to each other, into teams. So I am also looking for more tanks and DPS for a Pacific-based or mountain-based team. I have Athena, he is really, really exceptionally geared, and has done lots of Mythic Pluses. He's got quite the rating there from last season. And he's kind of by himself, all lonely, and I need a tank and DPS. So if you are not on this list, I need you to get on this list. There are some people that are bench, okay? McCall, I've put him on bench because he's going to be riding hard in the main team, which is my main push team, with Scabies and Koff and Hakkasan and Buddy. So those guys are the push team to push upwards, and so I put him on bench. And if you have just a lingering interest, if you want to just start with the baby ones, et cetera, put yourself on here too. Like I am more than willing to run those with you guys, on Danny Lynn, my tank, and I have always, been open to anybody. If you have no experience with Mythic Plus, if you have nothing, you can come with me and kind of get your feet wet, get comfortable, and then you upgrade and you can get put into the other teams, right? So I want to make sure that is something that you guys at least try, right? And if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's not really for me, but I'll do the lower keys. That's not a problem, okay? And there's some people who just don't like Mythic Plus, and that's fine too. We can do delves, we can do whatever else. So I'm going to be in charge of all these other activities that you guys are doing while our official Mythic Plus teams are out there in the grinds for these next few weeks. Okay? All right. So make sure that you are signed up. All right. So if we scroll over to the right, you'll see all the teams set up. There's Sip's team, which has Inflicted, Oprah, Solar, and God. And then there's Humans team, which has Cough, Demonic, Buddy, Scabies, and Salve. And those are pretty set. I think you agree. This was your schedule, if I remember correctly, Cough. So you're going to run pretty much almost every day from 6 to 8. Like, try to be there. And then there's some flexibility on Sundays. We could probably go earlier or later or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much, and it's also kind of the same with Too Much Sauce, Spicy, and SB are running those together. I need one DPS in there, preferably a range. So here's the situation that's going on with Mythic Plus. It's really melee unfriendly. Okay? Yeah, I know. And so you want most of your DPS to, if it's going to be DPS, at most it should just be one melee DPS and 2 ranged. Okay, so we want a ranged DPS for this one. And that one's running also 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific, which is 9 p.m. to 11 their time. This is mostly an EST-CST team. The odd one out is Plumbus because he's in for 1 hour ahead of Eastern. So, okay. So that one's going to be on these schedules, and then on Sundays he's running flexible schedule. It'll mostly be around that time, but it might, be earlier or later or whatever the case may be. Right, Spicy?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. The next one is one of our favorite red pallies. Galati. Galati is going to be, his main spec is Retribution, but he's going to be doing the tanking. for this team, and we call it spilling the tea because it's just cute. um, and that's just a little ode to me and Laura just yapping it up about Blake Lively when they first joined us. And that's got Bubble, Ishara, Big, and Numsby. And that is mostly a PST, MST team. Okay. You guys can get together and figure out what times work best for you, and then let me know.
Absolutely. We just ordered yesterday, but I was figuring today we'd figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll have time to do all that. And then, like I said, I am looking to put another PST/MST team of anybody that's new, anybody that's returning. We might have some folks that are returning and haven't been here for a while, or anybody that's new that is looking to join Athena. I need a tank, and again, 2 range DPS and a melee DPS in that team. Okay, and the purpose of these teams is really to commit to doing these instances together. Now, in some instances, you may have 3 people online from your team, and then you can substitute other people into these teams until that person logs in. That's fine, but I want you guys to try to create that synergy because the synergy is necessary in order for you guys to get through this content. Okay? You are going to reserve your personal keys. Those do not go to LFG. Okay? Reserve all your personal keys for your team. Okay? And when you get started, you're gonna, link your keys, or if you have details, you can do /keys and see who has keys, in your guild.
What?
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, you may want to like decide among your own team like what level keys you guys want to like work on. So if your key like gets like broken down, like on your off time, you can work that key back up to where what your team wants to work on.
That's
Like,
true.
when you're not
Yes,
together.
that's
So
true.
that would be helpful.
Yes, that is very true. I do encourage you guys to go into LFGs early. If you're online at an off time where you're the only one in your team that's online, hit the LFGs, and if you need to bump up your key, that's a good way to do it. But also, here's what I want to see us do. I want to see us complete each key level before we're moving as a team up. Okay? So you complete level 2, everybody moves up to level 3, and you do all of the dungeons at that level. And then you move up to level 4, all of the dungeons again at that level. Then move up to, 5, etc., etc. So that's how I think it's best for you guys to do it, so that you guys get experience even on the more difficult dungeons. Okay? So that especially for the more difficult dungeon. There is a spreadsheet that Tactus put together that will tell you the important abilities and which mobs and all that good stuff. It is linked in the M Plus channel, okay, and it is at the top in the pinned comments. I think, maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. I'm lying. I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. But Tactus did come up with that. You know where it is? I know exactly what it is. It's actually in our forums category in Discord under Season 2 Mythic Dungeon Info. Yes, that's where it is. So if you look in that channel, so there's a great sheet. Oh, let's see. This is not. It's not pinned, is it? No, it is. Yeah. There is a great sheet by Tactus that talks about the abilities that you need to, stop, interrupt, etc., right? So make sure you review that at least. I have ran the heroics, except for one, with Cough. If any tanks are like uneasy about stepping into it, I suggest you run the heroics so you can see everything first before you're doing the M0s. A note on M0s. M0s are weekly lockouts now, not daily, weekly. And so I suggest that you guys, when you first log in today, that you start with the M0s and get those done. So that you guys can really work your routes, work your paths together as a team, work on things. For Spicy's team, if you guys have a pug join you, right, because we need a ranged DPS there. You are more than welcome to invite them into this Discord and come in your channels. Okay. I have created M plus channels for every team that I have so far, at least all the way booked. So those channels are up there and ready to go. Okay.
I have something.
Okay. Can you wait just a second? Okay. All right. So we're going to start tonight with those M plus zeros. And once we get those M plus zeros, we are groovy. And I know that Koff is going to want to go +2, +3, all that. So I know he's going to want to push up. You can get hero level gear. So let me talk about that. You can get hero level gear at Mythic +6. Okay. So the quicker you can get to Mythic +6, the better. And it'll also give you a little bit of an upgrade in there for the vault the next time. It'll also give you 18 runed. Mythic 7s will give you gilded crests. Okay, so these are the things that I want you guys to save. Okay, don't immediately spend them on shit. Just stack them up. You are not going to be, you're welcome to use your weathered and your carved, or you can bank them for when you can then exchange them, as you start getting more gear. I've added Fisher's thing here. I copied it into a tab in our sheet here, by the way, so you can quickly look at that. Delves. Do not discount delves. Delves are dropping really great loot in the 7+ area, so you can get some 639 stuff out of the +8. Plus, you get some runed and gilded crests as well. They are giving you 21 gilded crests per week out of your delves. So if you are online in the day, in the mornings or whatever, do the delves, and your team isn't on, you do the delves, right? Crafting, also great. Save some of your crests for your crafting gear. Some of those pieces will still be best in slot this season. So make sure you guys save that. Okay. Now, Sips.
Oh, I was in the Discord Mythic Plus channel. I put some of Yoda's like easy MDT path strings for each dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have one already, or you just wanted his like easier versions, may not be like the most optimal, but like for beginner tank paths for MDT,
Okay.
he has recommended paths.
I also have the ones from Quasi. Quasi has more advanced ones too, so I will pin both of those as well, Yoda's and Quasi's. Some people do not learn. I had to say some people do not learn very well with videos, but I did put some walkthroughs in there as well. And like I said, that Google sheet is really nice. I don't see it in the team. Did you put it in? Where'd you put it, Jake?
Okay, so.
Oh, is this a quick guide to?
It's it opens up basically like.
No. Where, in which channel is it? Because I don't see it.
Oh, it's in CE Mythic Teams.
Why would you put it there?
I just.
Okay, can you move that into the M plus? CE means cutting edge.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's gonna get lost in there. put information where it goes. If you just copy it and paste it in there. Okay. So you guys have plenty of methods to like learn these dungeons, but I know for a lot of you it's going to be like I need to be hands on. So that's what you guys are going to focus on tonight. So you're going to run your M+0s, and then you're going to, you know, if you feel good about it, you can move up into the 2s and start grinding, right? Okay. Hey, Graffin, I have a question for you. Is your buddy going to be raiding with us and stuff? OG?
Probably yes, but he can't get away from family stuff till after 7 most nights.
Okay. Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
He's just come back, so he's got to practice his DPSing and stuff.
Okay. Are you guys going to be in the heroic? Well, I know you signed up for the heroic. Did he?
Not yet. He didn't even know about the spreadsheet till yesterday. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So everybody clear on what we're doing with our Mythic Plus teams, right? Yes. Woo. All right. Moving on. Thank you so much. Moving on. The Olympians. The Olympians is our CE team. It is our Mythic Raid team. And what I want you guys to know is that we have a spot for a Holy Disc Priest. And until that's filled, I will sub that. I can, if you guys know of a preservation evoker, I'll fill it with that as well, because that would be a good one right now. Running 2 priests and 2 druids and a monk is fantastic. There's a lot of folks in here that can also flex into resto. I know Bubble is one of those that he's trying to get his skills in Holy and Disc up. And I know that Demonic can also do resto. The reason we need these flex folks in here is, you know, when we are going through a new boss or a particularly difficult boss, it's always good to throw heals at it and then start taking it away once we start learning it more, right? So that's good. We have one spot for a mage, but it's, you know, I'm thinking that if we can get somebody that just joined us the other day, yesterday, actually. She would like to take this spot, but her mage is still leveling up. But this is a great time for anybody, like, you know, like Hakasan changing into demonic. We've got Scabies, who was a boomkin before, he's changing into a warlock. So this is a great time to do that. So if you wanted to re-roll for season 2, this is a good time to do that. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that everybody really does need to kind of learn all the specs of their class, even if you're not really dominant. I've said this since day one. Even if you're not really dominant on one, you're more, you know, your preferred spec is 1, and, you know, et cetera, and that's the one you know the most. But you should really start to get comfortable with the other specs, at least one other spec, right? And because I have a feeling that, you know, a lot of stuff is going to be changing and things are going to be, you know, moved around a lot and that kind of stuff. So it is always good train of thought to learn the other specs of your class, unless you are a druid, because that's a whole lot of specs. But nonetheless, it's always good to, you know, even if it's not, you know, you're not totally proficient in that, just get familiar with it, get a couple specs into your you know, talent trees and all that good stuff, and start kind of dabbling. So I will say that that's something that I'm interested in. We'll see if Siva, I'm still holding out hope, but I've not heard back. Or Ash, if he comes back, you know, that would be fantastic. But until then, we'll see if we can get our newest person, because she also has a Death Knight, and unfortunately, we don't have a real spot for a Death Knight in this team right now. And always, as it's always the case, I mean, the utility is limited on Death Knights, as far as raid buffs go and things like that. They have a couple of good ones, but not essential, unfortunately. Oh, there she is. Welcome. All right. I also haven't heard from I think there was a couple of people in here that were not. Arch, you're back. Never heard from him. And I know Wolfie's on. I don't think he's coming back. I'll be honest. All right. So that's the Olympian team. Now, if any of our Olympians, okay, listen here. If any of our Olympians wants to run in the Profits team, that means raiding 4 days a week. For some folks, that's exactly what they love to do. They love raiding. And for some folks, that's great, and they love it, and they're willing to commit to that. That's fantastic. If that someone is you, make sure you also sign up on the Profits sign-up sheet, okay? So make sure that you guys are available for that. If you are someone who is maybe not as experienced with the raids and that kind of stuff, or maybe you you feel a little bit like, and that's a lot going on over there, stuff like that. Still put yourselves on the Profits sign-up sheet as bench. I will eventually. I'm not saying that that's going to be this Sunday, but eventually we will run normal raids on Sundays, right? To get crests and things like that for alts and whatever else, right? So I definitely want you guys to try to come with us. I don't think, anybody is beyond the limits of an intermediate raid for, if I can do it and I have like a lot of physical limitations, you can do it. It may not be the very best. I'm not topping charts here, but I want to have fun. I want to enjoy what the game has to offer. Put yourselves on there and put yourselves as bench, and that'll be fine. Okay. And we can get you started that way. And maybe eventually you get comfortable enough to become part of the team, because there's 30 slots in a heroic raid. So we have quite a bit. The mythic team. So Olympians, if you want to put yourselves into this, okay, do sign up for it. If you do not, because it's too much raiding, that's fine too. If you only want to just raid on Olympians days, that's fine too. You don't have, it is completely optional for you guys to come with the Profits. Totally, right? For some of you, it may be great to get more gear and things like that. Like, for example, I can see you coming on Cough Drop. Once we start really having an actual mythic raid team, so to gear up backwards to gear up human. Sorry, I'm talking about human, right? But so that way, some of our Olympians, you'll get additional shots at these bosses, and you'll learn, more, especially if you need it. And don't be afraid to say, hey, I need more practice on these boss mechanics, because I want everyone to, see it as much as possible. Like I said before, run normals, run LFRs, over and over again, even if you're not getting any loot, because it'll get you comfortable with, the mechanics of the bosses, at least little bits at a time, and it'll open you up. So I definitely suggest that, of everybody. Everybody should be, if you're not yet comfortable with raiding or whatever, put yourselves on the bench in the Profits team. Any questions on that? Okay, cool. Awesome. Raid recruitment. Okay. I think I went over, what I'm looking for. I am desperately looking for a fire mage, but like I said, Ghost is looking to fill that spot. We'll try to run her through some heroics here. Or maybe just change some normals, I think. What level are you, Ghost, now? On that character? Havoca.
I'm actively about to hit 78. I plan on hitting 80 within the hour.
Okay, so then I will take her. So we can run heroics even if you are under geared for heroics, as long as we walk to the entrances. Okay? Mm-hmm. So we just can't use the queue. So we can do some of that today to help get you some gear, so you can chain chain, like, chain insta queue the heroics tonight or whatever, right? Um, uh, Again, we're looking for a priest. If anybody knows of a priest that is well versed in holy and discipline, please do let me know, because I hate doing mythics. Mythic rating is not for me. Uh, or if you happen to have a preservation invoker that's really good. And when I mean really good, I mean Siva good. Um, for those of you who know Siva. If you have that, I'll take that instead of the Holy Priest. But I really would like to have a double disc set up for some of these bosses in that team. I can work an augmentation evoker, but it would be fantastic if I could find that in a single person. That would be great. Someone that can be a flex from Prez to Aug, that'd be phenomenal. Okay. For profits, we are looking for anybody and everybody. I mean, it's always great. I think there was a person that was wanting to join us that they're Havoc. So I think this one's going to be really good, going down to 1. So only need 1 more. And as you can see, buffs are represented. Raid utility, that is always looked at very closely. Of course, the paladins are the kings of utility in that regard. So they have so much. It's pretty nuts. All right. So if you guys know of any friends or anybody like that can suit, you guys can see what's going on in recruit. Everything's, transparent, and it's in raid recruitment. Okay. So you can kind of see what we're looking for, et cetera, et cetera. And everybody in this guild can G invite, by the way. Okay. So you are welcome to invite someone and say, come join us, et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
I don't have any friends.
Well, now you do. We're your friends.
Acquaintances. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Okay. That would be fantastic. So just keeping an ear out, right? And help us out in that regard. Okay, loot systems. I do believe we are going to be using RC Loot Council. I'm fairly new to that add-on, but I have heard great things. So I am going to be configuring that and getting with the raid leaders to configure that. Here's the situation. This week, because we're mostly running normal, okay? And until we are consistently in the heroic raid, consistently in the mythic raid, we are going to default to open roles. Okay? So tonight, when you guys go in there and you guys are running that normal raid, everything will be open role. Okay? Tomorrow, when Prophets goes in there, everything will be open role. And that's just for normals, right? And then once we step into heroic, once we step into mythic, and so on and so forth, we will start our loot council for both those teams. I do think that there is a strong possibility that the Olympians will be moving into the heroic raid, and at that point, on Thursday, I would say, there's a strong possibility that they move into the heroic on Thursday. I want everyone to be able to download RC Loot Council and have it at least installed. Okay? It has to be installed in every single player of these raids for it to work. So it has to be installed. And you guys are all
on CurseForge?
It is, absolutely. I put it... I made an announcement in all raid teams. It has a link and everything there. So if you go to the all raid teams, yeah, you'll see it.
One word.
Yeah. Okay. For the normal raids, guys, we'll be using open roles, but here's what I want you guys to do, because we want to distribute the wealth. Okay. So we're going to limit to winning 1 item per raid, or per raid night, rather. Right. So you can win 2 a week, but I think just just to be able to kind of spread it. And this is the problem with RNG, right? Like some
I have a
people,
question.
some people are
Should
better.
we, if we win something, should we just not equip it till the end of the raid? So
Just don't roll on it. If you've won a piece, don't roll on things again.
no, I know, but I'm saying you can move it around. If you get it early on in the raid, you can like move it around if you don't equip it.
You know what?
In case they think anything about it.
I will defer to Cough on that. So y'all are gonna, however he wants to do it, that's how you do it. He is your primary raid leader for the Olympians team. And Mez is your secondary raid leader. For the Prophets team, it's Hakkasan and myself, and again Mez. Mez serves as secondary for both teams. Any other questions on that? Okay. So you figure it out with him, okay? I will do whatever your raid leaders want to do. I still want to see everybody's prior. Like I want to see, I may not use necessarily the channels and everybody's posting, and I know that everybody's posting and everything like that, but we may not use that. And also, okay, all the voting and everything is going to be we are still an open council instead of a closed council, so everybody has voting rights. And we'll see how that works out, because I still want that transparency, just like I had before with the lists and everything. Everything was so transparent. Everybody knew where they stood, where they were, blah blah blah. It was just really good that way. Okay. So you guys, if you look in under all raid teams, you will see my post there with the link to the Curse Forge for this add-on. Thank you, Jake, for that post, by the way. I'll delete the other one. Member chat, let's see. No! Oprah! No! No! You're stuck with your enhancement shaman. I asked you directly. You said, I'm sticking with my shaman. So, no more. No more jumping around. Focus up. All right. Anything, do you guys have any other questions? Anything that you guys want to talk about? Any questions on using this spreadsheet? Anything like that? All right, sounds good.
For the loot, we were talking about prioritizing healers and tanks.
Yeah.
Is that just for mythic teams, or is that for all grades?
That is eventually going to be for both the heroic and the mythic. So AOT
for this week.
For this week, it's open roles, so no, because it's normal raid. The normal raid is really not, not something I'm normal loot. Listen, normal is like the sandbox where we're playing, right? So I'm not really gonna scrutinize that.
Okay.
In that way. But that's a great question.
So everyone has a shot this week if you go to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we starting with LFR before we do normal?
We are. We're starting with LFR right now. So, guys, make sure everybody's not like doing things. Are you guys finishing delves? Are you guys? What are you guys doing? Let's X up. All right, everybody, send me an X. Send me an X, please. Send me an X. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Let's do this. What do you mean, who's speaking? This is Denisia.
And I have about 4 minutes to finish my current delve.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You're doing LFR at 6?
Yeah. Or unless you want to do it later.
I thought we were doing Mythic. I also thought we were doing Mythic.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's very true. Sorry. Um,
Hey, need a schedule on that. I know.
yeah. Sorry.
The LFR point was taking like the first hour of raid and doing LFR and then switching it over to.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Sorry. My bad. I completely forgot about that. Everybody's gonna go do their M0s.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My bad. And if your team needs to, do the heroic version of those instances first. If you want to just get your feet wet with it, okay. So do that, and then transition into M0s. And just remember, your M0s are weekly lockout. You gotta get them done.
I'm so happy that they fixed the machine, awakening the machine.
Oh, did they fix it?
Oh, so it can go faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Now, I will be doing delves and all that kind of stuff. So if anybody wants to come with me, that would be great.